Hey everybody, it's Alika Lifty, and today let's brew our Colombia Granja la Esperanza SL34 natural process coffee as a filter offering. So welcome back to this box set from Granja la Esperanza. This SL34 natural process comes from their Potosi farm. It's really exciting coffee, definitely a favorite. It's just so unique. You don't see many of these Scott Labs varietals transplanted into other origins. Traditionally from Kenya, this SL34 is now grown and produced in Colombia, Granja la Esperanza's Potosi farm. So what we're going to get is high acidity, and we're going to get a very silky texture, kind of salinic. Think like the slick texture of like a margarita. This recipe, just like all these other coffees here in the box set, we're going to be using the same grind setting, the same water temperature, and the same brewer, which is, I'm using a glass Kalita Wave, but you're going to get similar results from a ceramic or metal Kalita as well. And this recipe, I actually would not recommend switching over to a V60, but you can replicate a different recipe for one of these other box set coffees with any coffee, really, because we're doing the same thing to accentuate different types of flavor that you're getting. This recipe, we're going to be using 15 grams of our SL34 natural with 250 grams of 205-degree Fahrenheit water. First things first, let's go ahead and pre-wet our filter. Straight in the middle. Rinse the sides. Be sure to rinse long enough to where you start feeling heat in your brewer. It's going to get rid of that paper taste. I wanted to respect the small size of coffees that this box set is giving you and make small recipes, because I also find that smaller recipes just produce better cups of coffee. And these smaller sizes are going to be much more susceptible to that paper flavor if you don't rinse this out. So, let's rinse that. Let's dose our coffee. Again, we are using 15 grams. This is ground like a fine V60. This was 18 clicks on the Comandante C40. This will be about 9 or 10 on your Baratza Encore. Let's shake that flat. Now, just right off the bat, the aroma coming off this coffee is unreal. So we've got 250 grams of water that we're going to be pouring, and we're going to split this into 5 pours. So more pours than all these other recipes. So we're going to try to get a little bit more out of this coffee. First things first, let's bloom. I'm going to start my timer. Gently pour. Let's wet all of this coffee. Should be around 40 grams. And I'm going to let this go for 20 seconds. At 20, I'm going to pour heavy in the middle up to 100. So that heavy pour, setting our water level, infusing a lot of heat into our brewer, and it's going to set our flow rate to be a little bit more quick. And here at 40 seconds, I'm going to do another middle pour up to 150. Right in the middle, all the way up to 150. It's keeping this flow rate fast. Here in this early stage of our brew, these middle pours are raising the water level, forcing water through. We're going to highlight the acidity of this coffee. My next 2 pours are going to be spirals. Here at 1 minute, spiral pour up to 200. We're not building up as high a water. We're slowing that flow rate a little bit. This is going to give us great texture. And this is going to spend a little bit more time with this coffee and start to extract those simple and complex sugars. And I'm going to wait until 1:30 to finish this recipe off. Our water level should be pretty low at this point. I should be able to see the coffee bed under here. Drop in, steady pour. Be sure to rinse that coffee around the edges. Shooting for 250 total. Our total drain time should be around 220. If we drain too fast, if we didn't do spirals in the later stage, or if you poured too heavy in those spirals, we're going to drain really fast. We're going to be really tart and kind of fermenty. If we drain too slow, then we're going to still have this kind of fermenty taste, and this sweetness is actually going to be a little bit too much, kind of like overripe fruit. But if we drain right and we're balanced in flavor, this presents a really unique flavor profile, especially unique for the SL34 varietal, combined with this natural processing from Granja La Esperanza. This SL34 is going to give us raspberry. Think tart, sweet, berries. We're going to get raw honey sweetness, so think of that heavy honey. And we're also going to taste umeshu, which is a Japanese plum wine. So think plum, think fermented, this winey, slightly fermented sweet. Never had umeshu? Just think fermented plums when you drink this. This is an excellent coffee, so strong in the aroma. Like I mentioned, that texture from that SL34 giving us a really smooth, salinic texture. You know, if you add salt, saline to any kind of a cocktail or beverage, it kind of gives you that slick coating texture. That's what we get right here. Really enjoyable. For all 4 of our box set varietal recipes, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. But for this coffee, serve and enjoy.